Getting back to our Fanhome build series, we're continuing our Darth Vader build for our half-scale Darth Vader action figure. We're on booklet number 2. This one here is going to be featuring Grand Moff Tarkin, so it's going to be all different characters that interact with Vader. I think last time we had Boba Fett. Now we have Grand Moff Tarkin, and then we're going to be getting into our build here. So we're still on the helmet. So we got our helmet that we started in part 1. And we have the half the dome that we started from part 1. We have our screwdriver we're bringing over here. I think we had some extra screws in that set as well. And then we have our part 2. So you can see there is the ridge of the helmet here. There's the bottom part. There's the grill. There's the lenses. And we have some electronics in here as well. So we're starting to get into some of the electronic sequences. There are also lights. We'll be going through more and more of these as we continue the build, but let's get into it. All right, so we're actually starting this one, taking that dome piece from our last build, and we're kind of putting this brace support in, connecting it all throughout here. So you could tell where this is going to go in, and where it would connect with the other side as well. So it's snapping into place really easily here, and these top and bottom ones just go on a little bit of an angle. So it's giving me a little bit of difficulty here. But once you get it lined up, it shouldn't have any problem. My recommendation is to hold the ends on while you get that in, and then just push it from here. Now, all you need is 2 little finishing screws right here and here. We had those 2 from last time, but they give you plenty in this bin, so I'm going to put that off to the side. Next, we're decorating this little part here. I'm not really sure what this is going to be, but we'll see in just a minute. So there's a lot of different peg holes you see in here, and there's a lot of different pieces. So you just want to make sure you have the right piece, which the guide does tell you what these are and where they go, and that you're orienting them correctly. So this one, for instance, is oriented this way, and I think it's kind of hard to get it in the wrong slots because they kind of line up with exactly with where they have to go here. So you just want to make sure you put them in the right slots, which shouldn't be too difficult. But if you line them up here correctly, I don't think you're going to have an issue. And here's my example. This one is backward. So this one actually goes here, and now it fits perfectly. So there you go. You can't mess this up because basically it won't let you put it in any other way. So the next one goes over here, I think. Yep. I'm just trying to read the instructions just off the screen here, and that's why I'm going sort of back and forth. There we go. So they only fit in one way. So you can't get them in here wrong. So that's basically the only way you can do it. So then we have these here, cloth side up, and they fit over this hole. And again, you see there's only 3 holes. They line up perfectly, and they just kind of pressure fit into place. Now it does say you can use glue. I don't think you need to. They all kind of, so far we haven't needed to anywhere. On the last build, you saw us pop a couple pieces out by accident, but that's really it. There you go. So far, that is our one assembled part. And then we have these fitting on the left and right of this as appropriate. So I think they can only go on one way. And I think this is the way they go with the longer section facing toward you like this. So this one goes here, I believe. This way, or I guess the other way it could go is this way. Yeah, so they have to go this way. So there we go. There's one. Again, they can only fit on one way, and that is it. So now we have these 2 parts assembled on here, and I am going to work on putting together the screws in the helmet now, just to catch up. But here we go. Here's our first part. All right, so I got those screws in. I had to switch to a smaller screwdriver because the one they give you is just a little too big for those screws, and I didn't want to strip them. So I recommend having a better precision screwdriver. We fixed this part here. Whoop, I had these pieces on upside down. So I just switched them around. It should look more like this when you get it done. So now we're going to go back to our mask from part 1. We're going to add these little grebbies on, or circuits as they're called here, and they should just push in. So you should be able to get them in here. If you want, you can use glue, it says, to hold these in, but I want to try to do this whole model without glue, but it is an option if you need it. But basically they just kind of go on like this, and you should be able to get them in there perfectly like that. Now we're going to be going inside the mask, and our next part is going to be this little See, he's already got that grill in there. I think we put that in part 1. This goes on top. You see how the holes will line up. And then we're going to get some screws to hold all these in place. Oh, and I knocked that nose out. I'll have to fix that. But we'll put this on. We'll get some screws. And then the next piece that goes on there is going to be this. And this will sit on with some more screws. And it will look like that. So let me get all those screws in. And we'll go to our next step. Okay, we got this all assembled. You can see inside there, we get our pieces. We missed our screw on this in phase 1, so we got that screw in there. I was wondering when we had extra screws. So those are in there securely now. Whoop, and I just popped out a little vent by accident. Maybe glue is needed there. So that is all for the helmet now. We're going to be looking on the bottom part. So this phase is really easy. It just wants us to stick these pieces of foam into here. And then I'm not really sure why they need foam because there's no head going in this thing. But this is basically it. So you want the pieces of foam that match up to each side. So it will be like this. They have a little sticky back on them. We're making sure we're not messing this one up this time. And they should be cut to the appropriate side here. So this one here going over here. And I guess it's not going against these little guards that are on this side. It will be going this way along the back wall, not blocking the screw holes, of course, and just below the little area there. So not really sure what this is supposed to be doing, but this is basically it. So then this one here, likewise, goes right at the bottom and goes right at the bottom in the front, and it blocks the little area down there. And these are always such a pain to get off, but essentially it's, I guess it's just going to put some padding for a different area that is going in here. So this one goes in here, and you can see this sort of the contours in the plastic where this lines up. So then you could line it up kind of perfectly. And we did it on that one. Not so much on the other one. We'll fix that in a second. But you can kind of see where it lines up. There's a little black line right there. So there should be, yep, I can see it better on this side now. Should be a little black line right there. So maybe we'll work it from this side. Make sure we get it inside that black line a little bit better. And then we got it right there. There we go. So that's basically what it's going to look like in there in the padding as it gets in. And then that will, first, I don't know at this point, I'm not sure what it's going to do, but we'll figure it out at some point. 2 phases in now. What have we done? Well, we added this ridge to the dome, so we're kind of starting to tie the dome together. Essentially, we're going to need the other half on there. We got a little bit more done on the top part of the helmet. Those vents I had in the higher hole, there's 2 holes here. I'm sorry, they go down. They were a little tight to fit in there. All I did is do a little pressure as I twisted, and they just popped right in. So I have the little circuitry on there now. We added on the inside, we added a couple components here of the voice box support. So, I mean, a lot of detail. You're not even going to see this, but you're starting to put circuitry on the inside now that you won't see when the figure is exposed. Now, we did a little part where we added the foam on the inside, but look at this. It's magnetic. So you are going to be able, once the figure is complete, to take the helmet off, and it's going to have that same look as Return of the Jedi, where you have the bottom part there as we get this together. But that is kind of cool that you could open it and close it. So this isn't permanent. It's not going to seal up. So you'll be able to see the components inside the helmet essentially when we get the rest of that lined up. We still have the bottom part to do, which we have right here, but we are not, and this one's metal, we're not doing it yet. We also have the lenses. It says not to do that yet. So we are not at the lenses. We are not at the bottom part there. We didn't add the electronic voice box in. We have those parts, but we are not adding them at this stage. It's going to be in a future stage. So just to give you a little scope now of what this is going to look like. I mean, look how big this head is getting. And this is just the beginning. We got more parts to build into this thing. So save your parts here from phase 2. We're going to be going to part 3 next, and we were going to have more. The only thing you should be taking from part 1 is still that screwdriver. That screwdriver just sticks with you through your entire build series. So we got most of the head here. We have part 3 and part 4, so we'll be moving on to those next, but it's starting to take shape and it's looking really nice. And again, it's a mixture of metal, it's a mixture of plastic, it's got electronics, it's got lights, so pretty cool. If you're a Vader fan, this is going to be massive. We are nowhere near starting anything on the body, we're just getting on the head. The head is going to be like this big when we're done with it. So really looking forward to that. That's going to be really cool. And of course, they have R2-D2, they had the Millennium Falcon. And there's a new one. I don't know if this video is running before or after our exclusive reveal, but you'll see that as well. So getting excited. This is shaping up to be pretty cool. So keep tuning back for more of these videos as we continue this build over the course of a year, because there are a lot of parts to this, as you can see, and there's a ton of detail in it. So this is, again, this is a premium item. I mean, there is metal, there is the electronics and everything, and it's going to be massive. There are no half-scale Vaders on the market that are fully articulating action figures with other features in them. So you got to think about that when you're investing in this. But it's pretty cool, and it's fun. I mean, it's not too difficult. It's pretty intuitive in terms of we've shown you the holes have to line up so that you can't put anything in the wrong way, otherwise it just won't look right. And the instructions kind of take you by it. You're also getting a little bit of lore about Vader and his allies. We'll see what's in the other books. And you get the online portal, so if you lose one of the books, you have the guide there as well. So keep tuning back for more of these build videos. We'll keep our Vader going, but we'll get in there, and you can get there with us if you're doing it at home. Like, subscribe, and follow for all your Star Wars news, reviews, and more. And until next time, stay vigilant, you rebel scum.